Hi, my friends. Today we're going to start a new core unit. Core is when we learn about different things relating to history. Like, remember, we learned about the first Thanksgiving and the Native Americans. We also learned about maps and where people live. So now we're going to start talking about presidents of the United States and kind of the symbols of the United States. A symbol is like a sign or an object that means something. So that's what we're going to be talking about. And I'm going to do my best here to show you. Let's see, maybe I can do this here. Okay, so this is what we're going to be looking at. And hopefully next time I do this, it'll be a little bit better. Sorry. Okay, the American flag is the symbol of our nation, the United States of America. You can see the flag is red, white, and blue. You can see that it has red stripes and white stripes. It has 50 stars. Each star is a symbol for one of the states in the United States of America. So a symbol is something that stands for something else, okay? There's one very important city in the United States that is not any of the 50 states. It's what we call the nation's capital. It's the city where most of the decisions that affect the country are made. Our nation's capital city is part of the United States where the President of the United States lives. Washington, D.C. This city is called Washington, D.C. What's it called? Washington, D.C. This is where all the decisions are made, and it's where the President of the United States lives. A long time ago, people from all the different areas, back when they first came here after they had the first Thanksgiving, they helped write the Constitution, which is basically a plan for how the country should be run. We call these people the Founding Fathers. The Founding Fathers decided they wanted the country to be run by a president instead of a king. Once a person is king or queen, then that person is in charge for the rest of their life. Well, the Founding Fathers didn't want only one person to tell everyone what to do like a king does. Instead, they wanted a leader who would get them what they needed. To make sure the president didn't become a king, they decided to write the Constitution, which is just a set of rules that he or she has to follow. They also decided the president would have to be chosen by the people. The president would not be born into the position like a king. He could only be president for 4 years before the people would vote for a president again. Okay, so basically this just teaches us that a long time ago, they made it so that instead of a king ruling the people for many, many, many years, they would do a president instead, and the president can be in charge for 4 years. And these people are called the Founding Father, and they helped with that, okay? When the Founding Fathers started to think about where the president would live, they started to worry. If the president lived in the state he was from, it would make that state feel more important than all the others. So the Founding Fathers decided to write into the Constitution, or just the rules, that a special city would be built, and that's where the president would live, and that would be the nation's capital. The capital city would not be in any state, so that no state could say that they were in charge. This city was to be called Washington after George Washington, our first president. Eventually, Washington grew into the area we now call Washington, D.C. If you've ever visited Washington, D.C., today you will be able to see the White House. This is the house where the president lives. The president moves into this house when he or she becomes the president, and then moves out when the next president is elected. But not just presidents live here. Their wives, we call those people the first ladies, their children, and even their pets get to come and live in the White House. So when they're the president, they get to move into the White House. The president doesn't just live in the White House. He or she works there too. The part of the White House where the president works is called the West Wing. The president's office has a special name too, called the Oval Office. Sometimes the president signs laws or gives speeches from the Oval Office. So they live here, but they also work here too. They get to wake up, walk over to the West Wing, and then they get to work too. The president's job is to make sure that all the rules of the Constitution are enforced. Basically just making sure that everything the Founding Fathers said at the beginning was going to be a rule, that's actually happening. But sometimes laws need to be changed or added to make sure that the country is running smoothly. The president doesn't do this alone like a king, but they have a group of people to help make the laws called the Congress. The Congress works in the Capitol building, which is another building that's important. So the other one that we just saw was the White House. This is called the Capitol. So the president's not the only person that can make changes to laws. The Congress does, and so does the president. Congress is just a group of people. Because so many of our past presidents have lived in Washington, D.C., it's also a place where people often build statues and other buildings to honor them. If you visited Washington, D.C., you would find all of these monuments. One famous monument is called the Lincoln Memorial. That's this one right here. Another famous monument is the Jefferson Memorial, like the name of our school, Jefferson. These monuments are symbols to remind us how important these past presidents were in our nation's history. The Washington Monument is one of many people's favorite monuments to visit in Washington, D.C. It's the world's tallest stone building. When you go up in its tower, you can see all of Washington, D.C. But you don't have to go to Washington, D.C. to appreciate our country and its leaders. Every time you say the Pledge of Allegiance or sing the national anthem, you can let everyone around you know that you are proud to be part of our country. Let's say the Pledge of Allegiance together. Ready? We do this in class every day. So you can start doing this at home if you have a little flag. See how this girl's looking at the flag and she has her right hand on her heart? That's what we do every day at school. We stand up, we face the flag, and we say, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So the next time you see the American flag, remember that our 50 states all share the same beliefs for everyone. And remember that United States of America all share the same government, which is led by our president in Washington, D.C. Okay, that's a lot of facts and information, just helping to set up so that we can learn more about the president. So a couple things to remember. The president of the United States lives in Washington, D.C., in the White House, and the purpose of the president is to make sure that the country is running smoothly, and he has people there to help him make decisions so that he's not the only person making decisions. Also, the flag is the symbol of our nation. Okay, those are the important things for today. Thanks for following along, and I'll talk to you soon.